The Turkey Valley Trojans getting ready for the playoffs this week. They ended the regular season with their fifth straight win last week, a 73-32 win over West Central. And Coach Mark Scott, I'm going to start with your defense. 4 turnovers forced the other night, including a pick 6 from Chase Hayek. What made your defense click last Friday night?
Well, they've been playing pretty well all year, but the turnovers we've been close a few times and the ball just bounced the other way. But I mean, they're ready to play, and they got a couple tips, and then just played well. I mean, they took advantage of what was there and grabbed the ball.
And another nice night offensively for you guys, nearly 400 yards of offense, 298 on the ground, and 4 passes completed, 84 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air the other night. Obviously, your running game was working, and when you needed to throw the ball, and more importantly, I guess when you wanted to throw the ball, you were able to do so.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way we operate. We run the ball, and then and then just throw it to keep the defense honest, and get big yardage when we need it.
When you look at this season as a whole, how much better of a football team are you than when you started at camp back in August?
I guess we're going to find out this Friday how much we've improved, since the team we play this Friday is the first team we played of the year, so we can see kind of comparison. But right now, I'd say we're quite a bit better. The kids have, been playing well. They tackle well. We've been doing a great job on defense. Offensively, our offensive line's been really improved about getting on blocks and moving the line of scrimmage, and our backs have really started to, run hard.
You touched on it. Your opponent this Friday night was your first opponent of the year when the Edco Vikings will come to town. Playing a team that you've already faced already this year, is that a good thing, a bad thing, not a big deal at all, neither, or just a silly thing media guys can ask you about?
Well, it's probably the latter, but I don't know. I mean, it's they've seen what we do, and they've played us before, and then same as we've seen what they've done. They've played us before. You just hope that since we won, our kids don't overlook them. I don't think we can overlook them. They're in the playoffs. Obviously, they've been playing well. They had a big game last Friday that they won, late in the game to made a couple big plays late to end up winning and making the playoffs. So, I mean, they're playing well. So we just have to make sure that we play better.
And Cale Funk, their quarterback, had a good night against you guys. First go around, through for 4 touchdowns and 240 yards. You kept him to 4 yards a carry rushing the football, but statistically, he seems like a nice dual threat quarterback. What makes him a challenge?
If you've ever watched him, he's not real tall, but he's hard to tackle. You get in and you put pressure on him, and then all of a sudden he ducks under somebody, and you're coming in hard, and all of a sudden you don't get a hold of him hard, and he spins out, and he does he's got good feet. He takes off. I mean, some of the throws he makes 20, 25 yards in the hole, where he's backpedaled and scrambled around, and all of a sudden he turns and finds a receiver and throws it downfield. And that's tough on a high school defensive back to cover for that long. If you can't get the guy on the ground, he's going to scramble around. It's like recess ball almost. He just runs around, and then pretty soon he throws the ball to somebody.
And defensively, what makes them solid on that side of the ball?
They have athletes. I mean, they run to the ball. I mean, they get people where they need to be. We watch a little bit. Somebody will throw a screen, and all of a sudden they'll have 4 guys there. Or they'll try to run sweep, and there'll be 4 guys, running down the sweep. So, they run to the ball. They're similar to us, and we like to get enough people around the ball also.
And I know you've played them the last couple of years. These are their first 2 years of 8-man football, and it takes a little bit of an adjustment to get used to the new game. How well have they adjusted to this new game based on what you've seen on film?
Well, they've been in the playoffs both years, so they must have adjusted pretty well.
No doubt about it.
That pretty much says it right there.
No doubt about it, Coach. Well, ought to be a good ball game Friday night to keep your kids healthy. We wish best of luck.
Thank you, Darren.
Mark Scott, head coach of the Turkey Valley Trojans.